I remembered Jamie's instructions on the card and grabbed the handle, pulled the door in and threw it out.
Before the crash, Gareth told fellow passenger Teresa that if they survived the impact, he would get her out.
I remember sticking my head back in through the hatch and shouting, "Teresa, give me a hand," and this little hand appeared out of the blackness. And I remember pulling her out through the door.
Now Gareth climbs back into the plane to look for other survivors. He finds a horrifying scene. Twisted wreckage, injured people shouting for help, and others who are ominously silent.
There were people clearly struggling to get out and others that were not moving, and you knew what had happened to those that were not moving. And that's one of the memories that I'll carry with me to my grave.
In row one, in the plane's broken front section, business partners Nick Stevenson and Chris Thompson. Chris is unconscious and severely injured, but Nick is one of the luckier ones. He comes round quickly.
The first thing I thought is, I'm alive. The second thing I thought is, there's going to be a fire, get out.
He doesn't have the strength to help Chris. He tries to get up, but a searing pain in his left leg stops him. And yet he knows he must overcome the pain to get out.
You know, the survival instinct just takes over. The drive, it's incredible. I just knew I was going to get out. I had to get out. Nothing else was of any importance whatsoever.
He reaches a break in the fuselage and shouts to passing drivers who've stopped to help.
He said, "Yeah, we see you, you're okay, you know, we'll get you." Carried me down the embankment.
Still trapped in the wreckage of the nose section, flight attendant Debbie Griffith. She's in a bad way, but her main fear is a fuel explosion.
I was having real problems breathing and actually felt like I was dying. I was really sort of fighting to live. And I just expected the engines to go. And I can actually remember thinking, I hope the smoke gets to me quickly.
And 20-year-old Kieran Dynan hangs right over the edge of the shattered midsection. He's badly injured and drifts in and out of consciousness.
All the seats in front of me were gone. There was nothing. It was just debris and nothing.
8:30 p.m. 5 minutes after the crash, the fire crews reach the aircraft. They start to douse the whole area with foam.
The fireman shouted through, "We've got the engines out." So at least then I knew that we were in with a fighting chance.
Within 2 minutes, the engine fire is out. The rescue can begin. Now firefighters scour the plane for survivors. They have the grim task of checking which passengers are dead and which still have a spark of life.
I literally just woken up as he shone the torchlight in my eyes, and he said, "Quick, this one's still alive." And then I blacked out again.
Kieran is pulled out of the plane and rushed to hospital. 8 hours after the crash, rescuers pull the last survivor from the wreckage of British Midland Flight 092. The time is 4:20 in the morning. Of the 126 people on board, the impact kills 39. 8 more die in hospital from their injuries. Among the survivors, the 2 pilots, David McClelland and Captain Hunt. Both are seriously injured by the impact. Captain Hunt is paralyzed.
The survivors have been describing what happened and praising the skill of the plane's pilots.
But what could cause a brand new aircraft to simply fall out of the sky? Sabotage by terrorists is one possibility. It's just 3 weeks since a Pan Am 747 exploded in mid-air above the village of Lockerbie in Scotland, killing 270 people. Did a terrorist bomb down this plane too? Now, by rewinding the events of that fateful day and by going deep into the investigation, we can reveal what really happened on Flight 092. Advanced computer simulation will take us where no camera can go, into the heart of the disaster zone. Eddie Trimble is the chief investigator from the UK's Air Accident Investigation Branch. He's worked on all the major air disasters in the UK over the last 30 years. When news of the Kegworth disaster breaks, Trimble's team of 9 crash investigators is still in Lockerbie, scouring the wreckage of the downed Pan Am plane. Now he fears another terrorist outrage has claimed lives on British soil. Trimble arrives at the crash scene around midnight, just 4 hours after the accident. As the hours pass, he finds none of the telltale signs of damage from explosives. The team quickly rule out a terrorist attack as the cause of the crash. This is not another Lockerbie. Investigators now turn to the possibility of mechanical failure. Survivors report a double engine failure. It seems almost incredible, but the theory soon surfaces in news reports.
The experts say the chances of both engines on a brand new airliner failing at the same time are 100 million to 1. But that seems to be what happened last night.
Eddie Trimble knows that if both engines failed almost simultaneously, the implications are enormous. There are 18 of the new 737s in service. Could they all be flying with a fatal flaw? The investigators need to find out, and fast. Eddie Trimble and his team of 9 scour the crash site of British Midland Flight 092. They desperately need clues to explain what could cause both the 737's jet engines to fail. Accounts of the plane's final moments are coming in from eyewitnesses. They report flames in the left-hand engine. Trimble starts to probe the left engine. It's not an easy job. The crash impact seriously damaged it. But he soon finds something that's clearly not crash-related. The fan blades. Most of them are severely damaged or fractured. Trimble concludes that the fan blade fracture threw debris deep inside the engine. The resulting damage was fatal. He must send the left engine for further tests to discover what caused the fan blade to fracture in the first place. Now Trimble and his team turn to the right-hand engine, the one the cockpit voice recordings reveal is the first to malfunction. They carry out an inspection of its internal mechanisms. After hours of examination, Trimble reaches a terrible but inescapable conclusion.
I thought, gosh, it really does look as though they may have shut down a good engine.
Trimble realizes that when the left-hand engine starts to go wrong, the flight crew inexplicably shuts down the perfectly good right-hand engine. Now the whole focus of the investigation shifts. It's not a terrorist bomb or double engine failure that killed 47 people on Flight 092. It's a catastrophic human error. This astonishing discovery rocks the aviation world. How could such experienced pilots shut down the wrong engine on a brand new aircraft? Trimble knows that the plane is one of the new 737-400 series launched a year earlier. First Officer McClelland has flown just 53 hours on the 400 series. Captain Hunt, even fewer, only 23 hours. Could the pilot's unfamiliarity with some aspect of the new design have caused the fatal error? To find out, Trimble must probe every twist and turn of events on Flight 092. Using the cockpit voice recordings, he starts to analyze every decision the pilots took on the flight deck.
Okay, we're just turning off the localizer. Tell them what